Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. It is Vlogmas in July 2022, day 19, and I am finishing up this commission Flying Geese quilt. So if you want to get a closer look at this quilted beauty, please stay tuned. I'm really excited that I can share the process of finishing up this quilt today. I've put all of my other projects aside because yesterday when I worked on this quilt, I was so close that I wanted to go ahead and get it done today and share it with you guys on YouTube. Right now I'm holding the finished quilt in front of me. It is very cute and very sweet, but I have to go put it in the wash machine with some color grabbers just to make sure that the colors won't run, and so it kind of squeezes up really nicely for us, and then I can put it in the mail to send it to my client. Just before we start, she sent the quilt top and the backing and binding fabric. I provided the batting and I sandwiched the quilt and did all the quilting. So I want to show you what it looks like when it's all quilted, and then you'll get to see cutting it down, and then you'll get to see it all laid out bound. So I'm excited that I get to share that with you, and I hope you enjoy the process. I finally finished quilting the commission Flying Geese quilt. It looks really interesting and cool. I want to give you a little bit of close-up on the quilting. I quilted in the ditch for the vertical seams, and I actually quilted in the ditch for the horizontal. So maybe you can see down at the bottom there are two quilting lines, like at the end of each of the really skinny rows of the sashing rows. But then I decided to go back and quilt horizontally, but I quilted every two geese units. So let's see, I'll see if I can zoom in just a little bit on a few sections so that you can see that. Let's see, just trying to see if I can catch some of it. So there you can see just the quilting in the sashing area. I used an off-white thread, so you can see just really faint sashing. And then as we go up the quilt, on the sides, it is quilted all the way through the sides. But I think it's going to be better. It's going to be more beneficial if I turn the quilt over so you can really get a look at it. So let me zoom out. I don't mean to play with the lighting here. I'm not sure why it's doing that. But okay, zoom out. And then I'm going to turn the quilt over so that you can see it. So the backing was supplied by the client, and it's this muslin. And hopefully you can see the quilting just a little bit better. So I'll zoom in so that you can see it. Let's see. Oh yeah, we can see it much better this way. Let me zoom in just a little bit. Because the piece was the quilt was hand pieced, so we're gonna see a few little tucks and gathers here because of because just the fabric had some weird curves and lumps and bumps in it. But you can see the quilting there, and the reason that some of them go diagonal is because the geese were different sizes, and so I just went every second block. So sometimes I had to make a seam that went up, and sometimes I had to make a seam that went down diagonally just to get everything together. So what I'm going to do today, I've put aside all of my other projects because I think I really can get this done today. I'm going to turn this back over, and then I'm going to cut the excess batting and backing but I'm gonna cut it with scissors so you can see that. And I'm gonna do that all on the camera. I will speed it up a little bit, but I do want you to see that I'm using, I'm not gonna use my rotary cutter this time. I'm gonna use scissors, which is pretty unusual for me. But because of the curves on this, I think it's gonna be more beneficial to just go at it with scissors, and I'll have a little bit more control over it. So I'm gonna speed up the video here so that you can see the process of cutting it out, and then you can hopefully see as it morphs into this kind of blob into a more cohesive quilt. So let's see, I'm gonna speed the video up and cut this out with scissors. Quilt cut now, and it's time to go bind it. I'm gonna go downstairs and bind it by machine. The only part that I'm really concerned about is here at the bottom, because there are some pretty significant tucks that I'm afraid are gonna happen, but I'm just gonna be really careful as I quilt or as I bind. So I will go downstairs, get this quilt bound, and then I'll show you the final product. It's finished. I am so excited to have this finished and bound, and it just looks so sweet. It's just the sweetest quilt. What I like about it is that it's laying pretty flat on the floor. You can see that, but it still has its little characteristic curves down here at the bottom and then up at the top, and you can still see that gentle like bowing up to the right, but it's still fine. I think that it's probably gonna cuddle really, really nicely. Let me show you the back, because I want you to see the tag here. So here is the quilting, kind of stretching it out, and I actually named it Looking Up, since all the Flying Geese blocks point up. But it is such a sweet little quilt. My next step is going to be to throw it in the washer. So I'm not gonna show you the finished out of the washer look yet, but you will get to see it very soon. Sorry that it's all crinkled up right there. But anyway, that's the finished quilt. I am so happy that I finally finished that quilt. I've had it for a really long time, and so it's gonna be good to kind of get it off my plate so that I can focus on some other things. I really enjoyed the process, even the part where I wasn't sure how to quilt it and I changed my mind and had to pull out the stitches. I felt like that was really rewarding. and I was able to learn a little bit as I went along. Also, I really like the Flying Geese block, so I wonder if that should be on my list of things to do. Not sure, because my list is already so long. Let me know in the comments what you think of the quilt, and if you enjoyed seeing that process from quilted to cut down to completely bound and finished. And I can't wait to show you the finished quilt after it's been washed and dried. I'm excited to see how it crinkles up a little bit as the quilts do when we wash them. If you have any questions about what you've seen in this video, please leave them in the comments below. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!